Hey, y'all. Good evening. Welcome to Cross Politic. Pastor Toby Chalk Knox. I'm the water boy.
I'm underdressed.
Stick around for the second segment. We got Dennis Sarfate and Mark Dewey coming on to talk about the devil rays, like the devil and the devil rays.
Oh.
You worked on that all night, didn't you?
I did.
Hey, the CREC Church, Trinity Reformed Church, TRC of Huntsville. That's the strangest opening for an ad I've ever read.
Who wrote that?
Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama is hiring. I'm going to do this over again. Trinity Reformed Church, a CREC Church of Huntsville, Alabama, is hiring.
There
That's
you
how
go.
you started.
There you go.
Trinity has a large, vibrant church community that has seen explosive growth in its first 2 years. All the growth means more work. Trinity is looking for a full-time assistant pastor and a full-time church secretary.
Wow.
U.S. News & World Report just ranked Huntsville, Alabama as the #1 best place to live in America. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. If you feel called to get off the bench and get into the fight, this may be your opportunity to help establish another stronghold for Christ's kingdom in the heart of the South. I've actually preached there. I know the boys there.
Did you try the Alabama white sauce down there?
Good people. I don't want to talk about it. For more information, please email office@trinityreformedkirk.com. That's office@trinityreformedkirk.com.
Part of the reason I ran for president is because I was tired of trickle-down economics. It doesn't work. My plans are to produce the strongest, fastest, most widespread economic recovery America has ever experienced, with record jobs, new record small businesses, and wages rising. It's the foundation for an economy that works for working families. Because of that foundation, we're better positioned than any country in the world to overcome global inflation that we're seeing and reach a new chapter of stable and steady growth. So let's come together and focus on what matters. Let's build on the extraordinary progress we've made. Let's continue to build this economy from the bottom up and the middle out. When that happens, everybody does well, including the very wealthy.
Wait, so when was this?
This is earlier this week.
Oh, wow.
Whatever Biden thinks about trickle-down economics, and we'll get into that in a minute, but Biden's trickle-down politics is much, much worse.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, there you go. The Biden administration trickle-down politics will regulate how you get your energy, what kind of car they want you to drive, your vaccine status, what you put on your face, what babies are allowed to live and maybe just be put on the side, what justice looks like with Black Lives Matter or January 6th riots, and so forth. That's trickle-down politics, which is both the Republicans and Democrats are happy to deploy this, okay? But the Biden administration is the target right now. So are so antithetical to creating our free society and are contrary to our nation's constitution. It's as simple as that. The other thing to note, Biden's spin on how our economy is performing is like hyperdrive, spin, borderline lying.
Hyperdrive?
Yeah, it's, hyperventilating, there you go. You follow me. Supposedly, his administration has created the strongest, fastest, most widespread economic recovery ever.
Actually,
that's what he just claimed.
When he was saying that, it actually reminded me of Trump.
Yeah.
Actually,
biggest ever.
Yeah, the biggest ever.
That's right.
Ever.
Best ever.
It works for working families. He said that. Bottom up, middle down, middle out, whatever that means. As we have pointed out before, when you artificially shut down the economy and tell everyone to stay at home and then take credit for that economic recovery, there's got to be something. There's got to be a word to call it. Like Stockholm syndrome or something. But really, that's how tyrants function.
No, it is. I think that is a Stockholm syndrome. It's like we beat you.
Yeah.
And now, hey, can I help you?
Here's stimulus money too.
Here,
right?
I'll give you a Band-Aid. Here's an ice cream cone.
That's right. And it's no surprise to your budgets right now. It might be a surprise to Biden's administration that our economy is going into recession. Everything's looking like it. Okay, the current CPI, Consumer Price Index, which is actually a joke, but this is what Biden's hanging his whole hat on and trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing is at 8.3% right now, as of today. Okay, that's high. But consumer inflation, actual, real, down-to-earth consumer inflation is probably more like in between 20 and 30%. Wow. Just ask your local hardware supplier, your local farmer, your local builders, how much the supply's gone up, and so forth. According to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, the typical American family on average received $3,450 in stimulus money in 2021.
Ooh.
We did.
Okay, average family.
$3,000 in ice cream cones.
Exactly. But
Chocolate milk.
But that $5 trillion in stimulus money on top of the shutdown is the central driver of our inflation, the one you're paying for now.
Right.
Another way of saying this is the government is the central driver for our economic problems now. Trickle-down politics. So let's talk numbers. The average family got $3,450 in stimulus money in 2021. Well, inflation in 2022 is going to cost that same family on average $10,000 to $20,000, and I think that's a low estimate.
Wow.
That's trickle-down politics. And so they gave you a $3,000 check in 2021.
Right.
How much is it going to cost you to get that $3,000 check in 2022?
We have to give all the ice cream back.
Yeah. And more.
I'm confused. So are you saying that trickle-down economics does work?
Trickle-down politics is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's saying that something's trickling down. I don't like it.
Well,
that's the ice cream cone. It's trickling down on your finger.
no, it's not. It's not trickled down. What they did was they printed $5 trillion, took a little slice out, carved a small, tiny slice out of that $5 trillion for you to think that everything's okay,
and then funded the
to make
government.
you feel like you got some money.
One of the things that's bothering me right now with this whole thing is that we have a real problem when it comes to our economy. I think that we are in a real situation. I went to the gas pump and I put $100 in my gas tank and I got 3/4 of a tank. I don't know if I said that already a couple times this week. And I was like, this ain't right. And I felt it, and it hit me. It really hit me. I felt it. And I was like, I actually started in my head running the calculation on everything else that I needed to do and what I had to cut off. And then something happened to me. I was like, okay, be a wise man. Think about what you need to do, but don't fear. Because that's the next thing that comes when you start having to say, okay, and the reason that
I can't afford a gas tank.
I start to fear. And one of the reasons that you start to fear is because inadvertently, or maybe sometimes we do it on purpose, we have made the economy our God, and we start looking at that God and said, that God isn't giving out blessings anymore.
Right.
And so I better figure out what to do to appease that, I said
And
you
this is
start
why
to
we want
grasp
the
and you start
government
to
to
hold
fix
on.
it. Yeah.
Well, and you start, somebody needs to fix this. And so it's like, okay, who you start complaining to is the God that you pray to, right? So it's like, let me just chill out for a second and be like, all right, God's got this. Let me be a wise man, manage things well, but don't start tripping and flipping out and getting afraid of everything. Right. And I think Biden kind of wants us to be in that situation. Hey, your last Republican guys didn't work. I got you. It's okay. Right. And this isn't working either. I think this is the time for us to kind of step back and like, whatever he's trying to trickle down, whatever this is, we need to say, okay, how do we manage our homes really well?
Right.
Where we don't need them in any way.
Right. So I just want to say it really quickly.
Yeah.
You got a second for this? I know we got time for this, but trickle down economics. I just Googled it because I'm like,
You're smart.
That's what we're here for.
Wikipedia is there for us. But don't look to Wikipedia as your savior. Trickle-down economics is a colloquial term for supply-side economic policies, which is what our boy David Bahnsen is always talking about. In recent history, the term's also been used by critics of supply-side economic policies, such as Reaganomics. Reaganomics. Whereas general supply-side theory favors lowering taxes overall, trickle-down theory more specifically advocates for a lower tax burden on the upper end of the economic spectrum. And I guess the principle is the idea is those on the higher end are the ones who are the investors, the business owners, and so on. Yeah. And if they're producing more goods and services for the economy, that's the thing that actually lifts.
And I would say that what they're arguing is they're producing more innovation, and innovation is what drives and makes the economy bigger.
But that's the thing is, Bonds' point is always do something, build something, make something, do something, because that's the thing that actually brings value to the world and brings value to the economy, and that's the thing that can undo inflation. And so not only don't freak out, but like
work harder.
You work harder.
Be a blessing to somebody.
Use that gas. However much you were able to buy.
Use
do it. Use it for good.
But maybe we've forgotten what our bosses are saying to us when they hire us. Hey, I need to go out, get more money, make better products. Could you fill this time in for me doing this thing so that I can go do that? Wait. So you're going to pay me a job so that I can help you go make more money? Do that. Right. What else do you need me to do? Right. That's the transaction that we're making. I don't know why but this is what happens when the government gets involved. They're like, okay, so this transaction that you guys going on, what's my cut in this? How much am I going to make from
Which is
that?
actually the trickle-down politics you're talking about.
That's right.
Trying to get your cut is
right.
what makes inflation even worse. Which is what the government's doing.
Yeah.
And we're starting to feel it everywhere. What was it? The sheriff's department recently?
In Michigan.
In Michigan. The sheriff's department. Soaring gas prices force sheriff to cut response to non-urgent calls and deputies work by phone.
They'll talk to you about the shooter.
So
No, non-urgent.
I know.
It's not urgent. The bleeding has been stopped. It's not urgent.
It wasn't urgent in Uvalde, apparently.
no.
Pastor.
We'll
I
just talk
think
you through
this
that.
is Biden's way of trying to defund the police. I don't know. Maybe this is one of his little tricks here. This is from I believe the sheriff says, we've exhausted what funds we budgeted for fuel with several months to go before the budget resets. Sheriff Michael Maine said this in a statement. I have instructed the deputies to attempt to manage whatever calls are acceptable over the phone. This would be a none in progress calls, none life-threatening calls that do not require evidence collection or documentation.
Non-emergency.
So Here's
the thing though, is like oftentimes when government organizations respond like this, I could be I'm not trying to be unfair here to the sheriff's department.
No, it's okay. Let's
but
be
for
unfair.
example, when a school bond doesn't pass for a local school board, the next day they release a press release and say, well, we can't service this bus route anymore. So what they do is they try to make the citizens feel pinched so they get more support and they change their habits in the next school bond next time.
Right.
And so some of this could be based off
Politics.
Politics, trickle down politics and trying to pinch the citizens to be like, hey, we need to support Blue Lives better.
Right.
You know what? I think this is a very bad time for police to be like, yeah, we're not going to be doing police stuff.
Well, this is what they've been.
I'm just saying, like,
but they're already doing this in California and Washington. You've seen the videos, right? Like where they're like, we don't do arrests now for like
petty theft,
shoplifting up to like $100 or $200 or whatever. Like,
I think in San Francisco it's up to $900. I think it's that high.
We're not so that's
right.
happening
that's
at the same time we have gun legislation that's trying to take place. Now I know he said there's going to be things that I don't expect the police to make great judgment calls because now you have some officers like, this is a ghetto, I don't want to get there and I'll wait till it's all said and done and then I'll go show up. Now this is only encouraging them to do things like that. It might not be something that's threatening in the beginning, but them being there.
But now you have financial things driving those decisions as well.
Okay, we have Mark Dewey. If you listen to the Fight Laugh Feast Network, you already are on top of Mark Dewey's show. Right. And then we have Dennis Sarfate or Safarati. Back there. He'll kill me about it later.
Our producer's like, no, neither of you guys got it right.
Ray's pitcher who didn't wear the pride patch. We're going to talk to these guys about that situation.
Former professional
Major League Baseball players. Yeah,
two pitchers.
Yeah.
Where's the batter at?
Pitchers.
Yeah, somebody who's
it was a pitcher, right?
It was a pitcher. Well, there's a couple of them. There's a couple guys.
They can identify with them.
I guess. Yeah, they could. Well, not that we need it. More cross politic coming up next. We'll talk to some pitchers and talk baseball. Pastor Toby's favorite subject.
Armored Republic exists to honor Christ the King by providing tools of liberty to free men. New York State just banned body armor. Armored Republic is suing the state of New York in federal court to resist their arrogant war against your God-given rights. Mass shootings are tragic acts of evil that are best resisted by armed citizens and brave watchmen ready to fight back. The main violent threat to human life is not individual criminals, it's tyranny. In the 20th century alone, governments killed 169 million of their own unarmed citizens. Unarmed citizens are the stuff of dreams to tyrants and criminals. The Second Amendment is an acknowledgement of your God-given right to own a rifle and body armor. The 14th Amendment acknowledges the duty of the federal government to stop tyrant states from stealing your God-given rights. Legislators of New York, you are oath breakers. You proudly steal the rights of your people and oppress them without a second thought. Your law is null and void. It's unconstitutional. It is an offense against God, and there is no king but Christ. This is Armored Republic.
In case you need that.
You gonna play that?
Huh?
You gonna play that?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
What are we doing, Knox?
Yeah.
Just waiting for Knox.
Pride is about inclusion, so you don't love them and you don't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. And calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic, which is what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
When you say trying to be bigoted,
they're trying to use religious exemptions to affect the opportunities, services, available resources for people who are LGBTQ+.
and a patch on the jersey in this way?
In the case of sport, no. In the case of sport, though, they're double talking if they're saying you're welcome while also saying that we don't encourage or we disagree with it, especially when there are devout people of every single religion that also welcome and are open to people who are born gay.
Dave.
And that is Sarah Payne from Around the Horn. She's one of the contributors there on that show from ESPN.
Religious exemption BS.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
And more.
And devout people from every religion that will give honor to the God of Rome. To the gods of Rome.
Welcome back to Cross Politic. Home, it's where you build your legacy, where traditions are started, seeds are planted, meals are shared, and stories are told. Home is where you prepare to go out into the world. Finding the home that's perfect for your family is a big job. Story Real Estate is Moscow's top real estate team. That's Moscow, Idaho. They give people real estate advice all over the country. Family homes, investments, land, new construction, or commercial, they know real estate. If you've thought about a move to Moscow or anywhere in the country, reach out to get connected with a Story Real Estate agent. Wherever you're going, they can help guide you home. Visit storyrealestate.com.
Tell them we sent you.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, we're really grateful to have with us to talk to us about what was her name?
Sarah Spain.
Sarah Spain from ESPN.
Yeah, she ESPN on Around the Horn.
She's
does all this-
ESPN too, so she's submitting to ESPN 1.
Whoa.
No.
Submission is inescapable. With us right now, we're grateful to have Mark Dewey. Mark Dewey, if you don't know people, is the host of In the Bullpen, which I think is the best baseball podcast in the universe.
It's incredible.
I think you're about right.
Yeah.
It's on the FLF network. It's on the Fight Laugh Feast app. And
So good.
fantastic. He is also a former Major League Baseball player who refused to take the field for an AIDS ceremony in 1996.
Street cred.
He played for the San Francisco Giants, New York Mets, Pittsburgh Pirates, and you can follow him on the Twitters at In the Bullpen FLF and Facebook In the Bullpen FLF. Mark, thanks for joining us on Cross Politic.
Yeah, it's great to be with you guys again.
Yeah, it's been too long.
It has been.
So you just heard Miss Spain talking about her view of religious exemption BS. What's your take on what she just said?
Well, I would use the same BS, but apply it to her. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Well, we'll just stay to baseball. I don't know of a single baseball player, especially a single Christian baseball player, that embraces or wants to see happen what she just said.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think every single Christian baseball player understands that you treat all human beings with dignity and respect because they're made in the image of God.
Right.
Now, that's a whole different thing than endorsing rebellion against God. But I honestly don't know of a single Christian baseball player that would believe almost anything that she just said.
Do you think it's interesting in the last 5 years? Okay, so everybody says I wish we can just get politics out of baseball, right? But the truth is politics has always been in baseball, all the way back to Jackie Robinson. I mean, we've seen a lot of. It's almost like the way was patterned that if you want to get to culture, you have to go through a sport.
That's because baseball is America's sport.
Yeah, I know.
Right? If you're real
You gotta say it
American.
more enthusiastically than that, Chuck. Come on.
You're right. You are absolutely right. That's why we have a baseball bat up here, not a football.
That's right.
Even though I don't watch baseball. I'm sorry, I'm trying, but I listen to Mark
It's a very
Dewey's show.
individualistic sport.
I do listen to Mark Dewey's show. But why?
Blasphemy.
I listen to the best sports show out there, though.
That's great.
So
That's right.
why all of a sudden, though, I was reading the article and I think that the Rays were trying to pattern themselves after your old team, who had the gay flag, or they had their whole logo.
San Francisco Giants?
The Giants.
Yeah.
Had the logo on their uniforms, and so they said, "Hey, we've been doing this for 16 seasons. Let's go ahead and do this too." Why all of a sudden now has it moved from, the event, the day event,
Pride Day,
to hey, let's put the patch on?
Yeah, so the Giants were the first team to do it last year. They had both the patch and the colors on their logo. On Friday night, the Dodgers did not have a patch, but the Dodgers did have their hat, the LA, with the multiple colors. So Saturday, of course, was the Rays' turn to do that. Not all teams are doing this. I'm not sure how many, but I think it's just the next logical step for what they're trying to accomplish. Because it's one thing to have a night that is a Pride night or a Pride day, and the players aren't in any way obligated to do anything other than play the game of baseball. But now you take it to, okay, the players are now obligated to wear the patch and or wear the hat with the multiple colors. And with the Rays, from my understanding of the Rays, is the team actually said to the players, you can choose to participate or you can opt out, take the patch off your jersey, wear your normal hat. That's what the 5 pitchers did. So I give credit to the Rays for giving them that option, although obviously they stand out now and they're getting hammered. But it's just the next step. It's not simply this is going to go on and you're going to play a baseball game while this is going on, but we're going to force you to wear something in which you have to basically say, I support what's going on as a regard to pride.
Right. It's because baptism is inescapable. Mm-hmm. That's what this is.
Connect that dot for me.
No, like you have to wear a badge.
Yeah.
You have to identify.
You have to put a symbol.
It's a covenantal commitment, covenantal loyalty thing. Are you loyal to this or not? And that's what baptism is. Baptism is a sign of the covenant. Are you loyal to the cause? Are you loyal to this pride thing? Mm-hmm. Mark, what did you? I think you saw. Was it Jason Adam? I think is the pitcher who kind of
was a spokesperson.
Yeah, kind of became the spokesperson for the pitchers for the Rays. Did you see his statement and what'd you think of it?
I did see his statement, and I give him a lot of credit because my understanding when I checked into it, he is in his first year in the big leagues.
Wow!
And so the fact that he was chosen, my understanding is the Rays organization chose him to be the spokesman, and he said okay and was. And as I mentioned in my podcast last week, none of us are going to act or speak perfectly, and so I would have appreciated a little bit more of a stronger statement in some ways. But I give him tremendous credit for doing the best he could in a situation that I think he fully understood was going to be costly to some degree. When he made that statement, whether that some degree is simply the ridicule and the reviling he's receiving now, or if it ends up being an ending of his career, I don't know. But I think he understood a lot was at stake.
Mark, I got to ask, it's coming. What would you have said if you were selected?
Yeah, I think, I would have tried to make it as brief as possible. And I think what I would have said, again, the accusation is if you don't participate, it's because you hate people. And I think what I would have said is this isn't about hate. This is about showing respect and dignity to all human beings, including the LGBTQ community. But love is showing respect and dignity to all human beings when they're in rebellion against God by letting them know they're in rebellion against God. The most hateful thing a Christian can do to those that are a part of the LGBT community is to actually encourage them to continue that way and tell them it's okay, because they're going to burn in hell if they don't repent and trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. Right. So the hateful thing would be to say, yes, I'm going to promote this, right? The loving thing is to say, listen, I will treat you with dignity and respect because you're created in the image of God. And a part of treating you with dignity and respect and love is to tell you when you're rebelling against that God in whose image you've been created.
We mentioned this in the bio, Mark, but years ago, as you're playing for the Giants, they had some kind of AIDS awareness day, and that's where you kind of took a stand, decided. I think it was after maybe it was the second year or something like that. Decided, I this is more of a celebration of perversion. I don't want to participate in that. How are these Pride days today different than even what you were facing back in your day?
I think significantly. So I was with the Giants. It came up, but when I came back, they had started the Pride Day, I think, in 1993. Came back to the team in 95 and was asked to participate in a way that none of my teammates did. And I did. I participated. And I had a brother on the team saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I think Christians have not handled this very well. I want to show that we have love and compassion." Because the event was fundamentally designed to say, let's raise awareness for AIDS and let's seek a cure for AIDS.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, of course. But then what I realized is that in that there was also the promotion of sexual immorality on multiple levels, including quote unquote safe sex. And so the next year when I didn't participate, it was simply not because I had any issues with raising awareness for AIDS or trying to find a cure, but I had issues with any event that would promote sexual immorality. Whether that's heterosexual immorality or homosexual immorality, that's irrelevant. God says that sexual morality is a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. Everything outside of that is sexual immorality. Yeah. So however it comes, I was not going to be a part of anything that would encourage sexual immorality.
Well, it looks like the closer just arrived.
Just in time.
Wow, guys, let him in here. It was like, where is he at? Dennis, are you there?
He's piping in right now. So Dennis Sarfate.
I'm gonna let
Sorry,
you
guys.
just keep saying.
That's all right. We're live now, man. We're live. Just get your.
I got a 6-week-old baby that just is on its own time.
That's all right.
That's okay.
That's all right. You need to turn your video on so we can baptize that 6-week-old baby.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There goes Dennis. So Dennis, we got 2 minutes left. So this is what we're gonna do. We have a backstage pass.
Oh.
And so we're gonna have
this
conversation with the two of you guys back. What are you gonna say, Pastor?
I was just gonna say, Dennis, Mark called it that you were gonna be coming in late because he's just said that's what you are, you're a closer.
Ooh.
And so you're gonna
Yeah, I've always had bad dreams about sleeping through a game and not being in the mound in time. So here it is. I lived it.
He wakes up. It's 7th inning. It's 7th inning.
Oh man! So if you are not a Fight Laugh Feast Club member, you're about to miss out on a great time.
Better join now.
In the backstage. Join the club. Become a Fight Laugh Feast Club member, and you get a chance to hang out with us with 2 pitchers and the closer, Dennis. All right, real quick, Dennis. How's the baby? How's the wife? When are you baptizing?
Good. We are. Oh boy, you guys are going to get me in trouble. Jeff's listening right now. He's bugging my room or something. She's good. We're going to go get his tongue tie fixed tomorrow, so that's going to be another ordeal. But he's doing good, man. I mean, I'm ready for another one now.
There you go.
Dennis, I'm just going to introduce him, and then we're going to go out. So Dennis is an American former professional baseball pitcher, played for Milwaukee Brewers, Houston Astros, Baltimore Orioles in the Major League, in the MLB, and the Hiroshima Toyo. Yeah, that. And
Toyo Carp.
Say the rest of it.
Hiroshima Toyo Carp, Seibu Lions, and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks.
There you go.
There you go. You can follow him on Twitter at dsarfate, DSARFATE. And also Red State Reform, where they're getting states
all sorts of good stuff
to end abortion, and actionforlife.com. All right, go.
Sorry. See you guys tomorrow. If you're single, get married. If you're married, have kids. And if you have kids, do what Dennis is about to do. Go baptize them. Until tomorrow, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Cross Politics.
Home. It's where you build your legacy, where traditions are started, seeds are planted, meals are shared, and stories are told.
We are Chris and Natalie Carpenter, owners of Story Real Estate, and our team of top agents helps people find homes in Moscow, Idaho, and around the country.
Have you thought about a move? Contact us to get connected with a top agent who shares your values and puts your family first. Or reach out to us about our Moscow relocation guide.
Wherever you're looking to go, we can help you find home. Call us at Story Real Estate or visit us at storyrealestate.com and start building your legacy.
This is
is where Dave and I plan this year's company holidays.
Let's go through the list.
Easter.
Too religious.
St. Patrick's Day.
Too white.
Mother's Day.
Way too cisgendered.
All of your usual holidays have been canceled this year.
But we still have Karl Marx's birthday!
Need a real reason to party? Find a new job at redballoon.work.